welcome back to the Friday afternoon of the Undercut podcast live at the Silverstone Museum. We're all feeling a little bit tired already, and it's only Friday afternoon. But we have just had sprint qualifying. I'm joined by Rich because Alastair has not managed to make it through the day. Is that fair to say? And we're only on Friday, so that's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
Yes, we weren't quite anticipating that. I wasn't fully expecting to be on this podcast this afternoon. I thought I'd be presenting it, but Alastair seems to have come down with a case of the man flu and has had to go home. So, it's just you and me again.
Well, all I will say is at least we haven't got to face him in shorts again, which is a positive. And he was meant to be staying. We were all staying the night here in the museum, which he's not going to be joining us. So more beer and pizza for the rest of us.
Yeah, 100%. I think while he's ill, I don't know how many people his shorts are responsible for making ill during the course of today. So
no, great.
It's probably a good thing for the wider Silverstone community.
Some of us are going on holiday, so I really don't want to catch anything. Anyway, enough of the joys of that. It has been an incredibly eventful day here at Silverstone. It has been an incredibly busy day at Silverstone. I've been out and about for the first time since 1998.
Wow.
I have watched motor racing without formally being involved in working or something. Actually, we stood out on the bank in free practice this morning and we watched the last bit of sprint qualifying at Brooklands and Luffield, and that is the first time since 1998 I've actually been a spectator, if you like.
Wow.
That was
I think
pretty
you need
special.
to take a break. Yeah, I think you need to take more of a break. Jesus Christ, 1998. I don't think Alastair was even born.
No.
Which is worrying, but
it is.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing I noticed today, though, when we went out there, was the noises even quieter than it was before in terms of the cars. So
yeah, I mean, I have been at races. I've worked. I've been on the pit wall for 20 odd years. It's so obviously I've been around it, but not having that kind of having to work, other than having to pay attention to it for obviously what we're about to be discussing, and that's why the phone's out, so we've got the results because the session's just happening. Talking of noise, I think both of you and I, we were stood together watching that free practice this morning. The thing that jumped out at us was the Audi.
Yes. Have you heard this year's cars before in the track?
Yeah, because I've been at testing and things.
I've seen the Mercedes go round, but that's the first time I've seen the Audi go round, and it is noticeable. That is the one car you can distinguish. It sounds awesome. It's on the sort of overrun when it comes off the power. It just sounds really raspy.
But also when they're accelerating out of Luffield, getting that power, because both Hulkenberg and Bortoletto seemed to be doing it quite fluidly, and it was really, really pushing, which was really good to see. And the other thing I noticed was the handling of a couple of the cars. I think we both noticed, and I know we were having a bit of a geeky conversation about the handling and understeer and washing out and various other things, and a number of spectators around us were looking at us and saying, what on earth are these two boring old farts talking about?
Shut up and watch the cars.
But it was. But the couple of cars I do want to mention. Firstly, the Red Bull was where we were watching at Brooklands and Luffield. Really, obviously, very handling, quite, going into a braking zone, then a very tight corners. The Red Bull looked epic.
Yeah.
It really did. Both Hadjar and Verstappen. It was a joy to watch that car going through there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think as well, if you didn't have the timing screens, if you asked us who was the fastest on track, you'd have probably looked at that and gone, over the course of a lap, they must be really hooked up everywhere else. But they were like on rails, and the line they were taking was so much tighter than everyone else. It just shows you that Mercedes and the power difference. Because
it actually looked like the Mercedes was understeering on the exit of Luffield.
Really
every time. It looked like both George and Kimi were pushing, and the front was kind of washing, and they were having to take more of a kind of almost a kind of out and back line through Luffield rather than around the curve. I know some of you are probably thinking, why are these two people talking about this? But it is important, and I just loved being able to actually look at cars. It's the kind of thing that you sometimes see Martin Brundle standing talking about, and hopefully next year and through some of the test sessions we're going to be able to be out and do exactly that kind of thing for you and give you that kind of a little bit of a different look, because it was fascinating, wasn't it?
Definitely. I think it's interesting because when you listen to the commentary and what's going on in racing, everyone talks about how good that Ferrari chassis is, and we'll get onto Ferrari, and it obviously is. But that really surprised me how good that Red Bull looked through that section in terms of the rotation that they've got in the car, how much like drivability they've got in terms of getting the power down as well, because they were flying out of Luffield versus everyone else, it looked like. So it would be good to look at the last sector times as well and just see, sorry, not last sector, I'm in the old world, that's not the last sector.
It's not the last, it's the middle, actually.
It's the middle.
Sector 2.
But just have a look. But yeah, no, it's super interesting. And the Mercedes, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be driving that versus the. I'd want to be driving that Red Bull.
It didn't look a nice handling car. The other car that looked good, you mentioned Arvin Lindblad. It looks good anyway because it's a good colour scheme. But the RB, I know they were bottom, but they both got into the top 10 in sprint qualifying. Great to see. Liam Lawson, I know, is a big, we're a big supporter of Liam. Liam, come on the podcast at some time.
Yeah, please do.
But Arvin Lindblad, your tip, unfortunately didn't do quite as well as yours.
It was looking good for a bit.
We're now both dressed as Max Verstappen.
Yeah, available when it's not the Grand Prix in our shop. Yeah.
They are available in our shop when it's not the Grand Prix, and they are a lot better than another team's shirt that I've had to wear. I'll go into that, why I had to wear a shirt a little bit later on. But there was that looks a good handling car. One car I do want to comment because it looked like it. I really don't like the livery of it. Certainly from the side, it looks horrible. But it didn't look like it was handling particularly well. And McLaren just wasn't there, was it?
No. Firstly, it was confusing because the livery just does not stand out. I was stood with the camera and the livery just does not stand out. I said to you, it looks like the old Sauber with the sort of NEC.
Yeah, the old Esteban Gutierrez-esque Sauber. I mean, the sad thing is, there has been. I don't think McLaren have done a good enough job of selling why they've gone for that livery this weekend.
Confusing.
And I think I was explaining it to you, wasn't I, when we were upstairs beforehand. So the whole point in that livery is when Bruce McLaren first built their first McLaren car to race in '66, they were short of money.
Yep.
And the James Garner film was being shot at Monaco in '66. And so Bruce McLaren, there was kind of a deal that because they needed a car that was liveried up as the same as one of the key protagonists in the film, Bruce McLaren kind of, it was a bit like sponsorship, kind of sold the outside of the car to meet what the film producers needed. And that livery is an ode to that. But unless you're a really sad loser like me, without McLaren telling you, I don't think many people knew that.
No, and it seems a strange one as well in terms of what is your home Grand Prix when there's going to be a sea of papaya. Why?
But I would still argue McLaren don't have a home Grand Prix because they're from New Zealand. Bruce McLaren,
I mean, I get that.
And then you've also got people like Tyler Alexander who were involved with the film, with the firm American at the beginning. But they are based in the UK. There's a lot of big supporters. You've obviously got a British driver, and they are seen as a British team. But it was. I remember Ron Dennis talking about it, and Peter Stainer, who was then director of comms at McLaren. This is back in kind of 1990 period when they were trying to really push McLaren at the British Grand Prix. He said then the biggest problem they have is people don't see them as a British team.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, their person who founded them was a Kiwi. They'll see this. But anyway, let's get on to the results because we're not going to be talking for long today. I know we're a little bit tight of time.
I've got to pick my son up.
You've got to pick your son up. I've got to probably be somewhere else again.
You've probably got an after-dinner keynote speaking job.
The reason, right, we've got to just mention the clothing because it did get mentioned earlier. Rich was very disappointed. I had a bit of a catastrophe in the wardrobe. I had to go and do some work in the BRDC earlier. One of the first days ever, I'd forgotten a shirt with a collar.
Yeah.
So I had to borrow a particularly vile Ferrari shirt. And the reason I mean vile, not because of Ferrari the team, but the material was horrible. And I've just been out in the heat and I had to wear a jacket as well. And but what was encouraging is in the BRDC, I was clearly not the only one who missed the message because there were a number of people walking around in badly fitting, slightly horrible shirts that have clearly been discovered from somewhere just to get them in the... what was interesting, jeans and trainers, absolutely fine. Had to wear a shirt with a collar.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's strange, isn't it? Because arguably you'd have looked more presentable not wearing that shirt.
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think most people, all I've had is mick taking. And now, because Rich said Max Verstappen was...
I said if Lindbergh didn't qualify top 5 in the sprint, I would wear a Max Verstappen shirt. Which,
and I have joined you in that.
It's actually very comfortable.
It's a lot nicer than a red shirt.
Yeah, my mother, so the background is my mother hates Red Bull with a passion. I won't go into why particularly, but my mum is coming to the Grand Prix tomorrow as my guest, and when she sees this, she will probably disown me. So it'll be an interesting conversation.
So Rich's mum, make sure you're watching, and maybe this is the last time you will ever watch or have any contact with your son.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel
Isn't
too
your
bad.
mum coming tomorrow?
Yeah, she is tomorrow.
Excellent.
Yeah, with
I
my
look
brother.
forward to meeting your mum.
They're both Mad Lewis fans, so
brilliant.
Not a great choice.
So we'll see if what Rich's mum thinks of this.
But I do have to say, like after watching him and Hajar drive around, I don't know. You see how special a driver he is when he's pushing that car.
It was awesome.
He looked so quick.
Yeah. He did, and you could visibly see it, and I loved it. I could have stood out there we met some great Americans while we were out there having a great chat. Some people who were having a bit of a road trip. They'd done Austria, Monaco, and now Silverstone. They were great, and hopefully we'll catch up with them again the weekend. They were absolutely brilliant, they were Max fan. Well, he was a Max fan. One of the guys was a Max fan, and Max just looked, and Hajar in fairness as well. They both looked very good. A couple of cars. I didn't see the beginning of the session. I don't know how much of it you saw. But just going to cover
session 2.
Yeah, the session this morning, the Aston Martin looked terrible and
awful.
Didn't disappoint. It was bottom of the timing sheets, and there is no surprise.
It sounded awful.
Sounded awful.
Yeah.
They could not get round Luffield properly. The car was, and this is not a dig, I don't think, at Lance Stroll. I think that car just looked in the hands of both Alonso and Stroll, and there's absolutely no surprise there at the back.
Yeah.
The next team up, though, we are a bit of Cadillac fans, I think. I think we need to get a bit of Cadillac merch on.
Yeah.
That livery looks great, but also the one thing, and you noticed it, we had a quick look beforehand. Colton Herta. I'm a huge fan of Colton Herta. Big IndyCar. Big up Scott Dixon, by the way, leaving Ganassi after 26 years with the team. That's mad.
We need to do an Indy.
We will do. I'll get Andy Brown to drop in, and we'll do an IndyCar thing at some point. But what we did notice, and you spotted first of all, Bottas and Perez ahead of Aston Martin again. Yeah. But Perez, uber close. I mean, the gap, we're talking a couple of fractions of a tenth of a second to Ocon in front of him. Now, the Haas car clearly not handing. It's a shame Ollie Behrman and Esteban Ocon, they were the 6 that were out in that first qualifying session. But that's progress for Cadillac, isn't it?
Oh my God!
I know Haas will be devastated, and
they're getting worse.
Yeah, Haas are going backwards, and we huge fans of Ollie Behrman. Yeah. Those of you that have already seen our Ollie Behrman interview, it was great to do that. And
what a man! What a guy! Yeah.
And great. I love the fact that he was so into the history of the sport, and his dad was epic as well. David, if you're watching, it was great to
come on,
spend a bit
David,
of time
and tell us those stories.
I think we need to maybe not mention them until David mentions some of those stories. But they were the bottom 6 that were out, and I think Cadillac have got to come away from that thinking, okay, we're out, but that's not bad. Haas have got to be thinking, oh crikey, what are we going to do?
Who are we putting in that seat?
Well, I mean, Esteban Ocon, there has been a lot of talk about Fornaroli, who we know tested the Haas car last week, and he's good. I need to go and check, and I'll do it overnight, the super license situation with Fornaroli, because I think Rio Maiata may actually qualify for a super license with his Super Formula and previous F2 races, and has also been testing the car. Whereas I don't think, because Fornaroli is only just. Sorry, my phone's just stripped to a picture of Valtteri Bottas. Weirdly, I think I've just clicked on the wrong thing, and I'm not sure Fornaroli would qualify for a super license yet.
Have a look at that.
I need to see, because I know he's only done one free practice, one run so far. But I will look into that for you folks and come back with some geeky facts.
That's going to be a developing situation for sure.
It is, and also we've got a 2-week gap before the next race. We are on circuits everyone is pretty comfortable with. People know the circuits we're going to. We've got Hungaroring, we've got Spa coming up. They are not strange circuits. So this is the time, if you're going to make a change. I mean, I've actually spent time with Esteban Ocon. I find him incredibly amusing chap and a great guy. He gets a bit of a bad rap, sometimes unfairly, but it's not happening for him at the moment. And it is a performance game. And I do think Esteban may well be out of that car, unfortunately. And we are big Haas fans here. I am saving my Haas attire. I have got my Haas attire ready.
That because you've got it. Gutted.
Should we share it? I'll tell you what, I've got a lovely...
I've got their engine providers.
I've got a lovely Ferrari shirt if you want one.
No, thank you.
Right, okay, we're just going to move on up because Williams, again, so the next group of 6 that went out of qualifying, Williams were at the back of that. Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon, very, very close in time. So Carlos Sainz edging Alex Albon. They've got to be pretty disappointed with that one.
Yeah, I think so. I think they haven't got the weight off that car, have they? I know you said James Vowles was approaching the car in chunks. Maybe they need to do bigger chunks. I think the big thing as well that's going to happen there is I can't see Carlos is going to stay there.
No, and there are opportunities. I wonder whether Carlos, because there was a lot of noise about Carlos going to Audi.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering whether he's regretting that now, because I know Audi aren't that far ahead and they are the next team up. If we kind of count out Colapinto, we'll come to Alpine in a minute, because Gasly and Colapinto were sandwiched with the Audis in between. The Audi sounds great and it looks good. It looks a stable platform. I love Alan McNish. I think you're a big Alan McNish
massive fan.
And, probably as a reserve driver, he'd do a really good job as well. He's not, by the way. But,
probably be better than some.
But, you've got Mattia Binotto there as well. You've got a really good base. And Audi do not do things badly. I don't know if you ever heard of this thing called Le Mans. And Audi have been pretty good when they were there. In fact, really excited. I get to interview Emanuele Pirro tomorrow. I'm super excited. Have I mentioned that to you much?
No, but I'm definitely tagging along for that.
I know. Emanuele Pirro tomorrow. Those of you who know your old school Formula 1, but also know your Le Mans, you'll know why I'm quite excited about that interview tomorrow.
Need to get a picture of that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that interview tomorrow. So, Audi got to be relatively comfortable with the fact they nearly made the top 10. And who have we got?
This is James Purchase. Who runs Access Karting, the karting championship. Hello, mate. You're right.
I'm good, thank you.
We're just recording.
Okay.
We're just recording.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you want me to disappear?
No, you can.
You can join in if you like. Join in. So James, welcome.
This is Rob.
My name's Rob. I'm hosting the pod, but please join in. So James, been to the Grand Prix very much?
Been to a few. Been to here a couple of times. Been to Australia. Been to Singapore. So
cool. Travelled a bit with it as well.
Always try and tie them into holidays.
Okay. Yes. Very, very sensible. So we were just talking about kind of the best looking handicap. Where were you watching sessions from?
We watched the practice session from Cops, and then we watched the quali from Maggots and Beckett's.
Right, so you've been watching, we've just been talking, so this will be interesting, because I'm assuming if you're into karting, and you'll know a bit about cars handling and things. We watched from Brooklands and Luffield, and we thought the Red Bull looked the best handling car out there. It looked really planted. What was your view from it? Because from the other places.
On the loaded corners, I thought the Mercedes looked the best through Cops, like loaded up on the outside, and seemed to be the most stable and didn't look like it was going to move. And then I thought the direction change Ferrari. Just at high-speed direction change.
It's interesting because the Mercedes looked terrible around Luffield. Obviously, not a loaded corner, a much slower corner, and it was almost like they were taking it out and back, weren't they? It was
the corner off.
It was really weird. Whereas the Red Bull was planted round the slower corners.
I think you'd say if they've inherently built some understeer into the Mercedes to make it stable in a fast corner, then you would want to be the corner off and use the traction.
Funny enough, we were having a conversation about understeer, and the Mercedes was very understeering, and I think other fans stood around us were just like, what on earth are these two idiots talking about? But
spot the driver though.
Exactly, you could tell we were having.
I don't think I qualify as a driver.
No, when your chain stays on.
There's another.
We can make it go forward.
Another
that's
story.
me failing scrutineering next time.
But I think what's interesting is you're kind of saying completely the opposite of us, but it marries exactly with what we're saying, because the Red Bull did look in the slower corners. The trouble is at Silverstone there aren't that many slower corners. It is all that Cops, Maggots, Beckett section. It's one of the best in the world.
It makes sense now when you see the result, if that's what you see.
I would be surprised if you looked at the GPS track, and obviously I haven't seen it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see almost a merging of Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes through sort of medium speed, and as you're about to load up the car, and then
you're kind of mirroring what we were saying at the beginning, because we were saying we're going to look at the GPS and look at the individual kind of sectors.
I'm
and look
sure
at
the GPS will prove us all completely wrong. We don't know what we're talking about.
I don't know, or we'll prove that some of us, just a bit geeky and can work this sort of stuff out.
After 4 years looking at it, we know what we're talking about finally.
So, any others that were standout from where you were watching?
it was more of a livery stand for me. I think the RB just looks great going around, like just from the pure aesthetics of it. I think with the white wheels and especially when you see it fully in motion, it's not.
It's lovely when someone comes on and it's not been teed up at all, but is guaranteed is saying exactly what we've been saying as well. What did you think of the McLaren? You're wearing a McLaren top.
I am. And I'm here with a McLaren fan as well, who's also.
Yeah. So what did you think of that McLaren livery?
Not a huge fan. I like the history of the sport, and I like the fact that we're leaning back to the history, and they're using the year with their 1000th race and all that stuff to sort of promote what's come and gone with McLaren, and that's lovely. But I think the way that they've done it is almost like they've taken tracing paper over an original small car, stuck it on a big car, and then there's gaps. And it doesn't look like they've modernised the livery to the modern car. It just looks like they've gone with exactly as was. And that's where I just think it looks a little bit like. It's almost like they've hired the livery designer from Red Bull for the last decade, and just
what do you mean? just literally the same thing.
Just take it and put it.
Do they have a livery designer at Red Bull? It's got to be the easiest job in the world, hasn't it? The livery designer at Red Bull.
Well, I think the only designer that's easy is like doing the rear light clusters on Porsches, isn't it?
Exactly.
For about 50 years.
Exactly. Yeah, the McLaren. It is a shame they haven't. I don't think they've told the story enough, because I think it will have been missed by people exactly why they've done that. To be fair, I would assume we're all of a similar age. For me, McLaren will always be red and white, and all of this.
Absolutely.
And we that should be the colour McLaren should go back to.
100%.
Yeah, I suppose it's this sort of more corporate-driven sponsorship era, isn't it? Of everything's about brand. We don't say sponsors now, do we? We say partners. So everybody's got to have their equal opportunity within that partnership to be visible. And so the sort of we've got this corporate world of IT and product placement defining the way brands look as teams, aren't we? Because you can drive papaya as much as you like, but if all your sponsors are all like carbon grey, you're going to end up with a carbon grey car predominantly. That's the problem with modern liveries to me, which is, I suppose, lends itself to why Ferrari is always going to be Ferrari, because it doesn't matter what sponsor you throw at Ferrari, it's a red car.
It's a red car. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Very true.
Yeah,
it's that to me, that's the one that will never lose its identity. So
and I think we've all been around motorsport long enough to know that at the end of the day, you have to pander to whatever people want, because if you don't get the money, you ain't going racing.
It's interesting though now in the Netflix era of there's so much money in the sport, and with the budget cap era. Are we that dependent on sponsors to drive the budgets? Because most teams spend the budget now. So do they need it? They might need it from an organisational, all the extras, the marketing, the whatever, but do they need it for pure performance? Not sure.
But there's also, you're right, there's also the brand awareness piece of the type of brand you want on your vehicle to enhance various things.
And I suppose each team's got a very different modus operandi with that, haven't they? Because you've got Red Bull that want to sell Red Bull cans, so they're always going to look the way they look. Is McLaren a technical specialist? Are they a car manufacturer? Do they want to get into engine manufacturing? And what brand are they trying to push with that?
The amount of times we talked about them making engines, that's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. There's a big. The rumour swirl is that they can't have Mercedes engines forever, isn't it? So, and then,
I can't see McLaren. What the investment you need to make to produce your own engine, it's not going to be an easy.
They showed there's a tipping point with your car company, don't they, to make it worth producing engines for the Formula One team and for your road car. And it's about a 15 billion markup, isn't it? Which Ferrari's like 20, 25, whatever.
Yeah.
And McLaren sits at what, 7, 8 as a car company. So they're kind of half the size they need to be to say, right, let's go all in. So they end up in the position that Red Bull are in, which is we're going all in, but we're not going to make road car engines. We're just going to make Formula One engines. And then is that worth it?
Is it sustainable? Yeah.
Well, it might be worth it for Red Bull with a satellite team. But is it worth it for McLaren to stand alone? And actually, when you break it down and look logically through the engine list, really the thing they should end up with is a Honda.
Yeah.
But
I think from memory that works, didn't it?
Yeah, I think
McLaren with Honda.
It's worked once. So we need a bigger sample, because we've got a positive and a negative, and we almost like, when you do like best of 3.
Yeah. You don't want the GP2 one again.
No.
Yeah, we're not allowed to mention that one.
Sorry.
I do think it's like when you look down, and actually that would be the best thing for them and the best thing for Honda, because Honda need more data to get to a position that they can develop the engines. So, but I'm not sure they'd want it next year. It might be the year after when Honda have taken a few steps forward. But.
Yeah.
Well, it's so bloody awful out there today.
You know what? I love the sound of the Audi engine.
Oh, guess what we were talking about?
The first thing we said when we were out there earlier was that Audi engine, and then it was the first thing we mentioned on here as well.
You don't get it on the TV, do you?
No,
you don't.
No, you
that
don't.
that Audi sounds great.
A lot of them, when they come off the throttle, and you get like a little bit of turbo whistle, and you can almost hear a little bit of what you can hear in the F2 cars.
Yeah.
But the Audi, the pipes just goes over the top of it completely, and you don't get any
much better noise.
Yeah, I gotta say the Ferrari doesn't do the whistle as much as others as well, so that's a nice sound because of obviously having the smaller turbo.
Yeah.
No, the Audi sounds epic. It's the only one I feel you can actually tell what it is
from a
before
distance.
you see it.
Yeah, definitely. Really
it's
distinct.
on that lift off.
Really distinct. Should be. Yeah, it was good to see. Good to see. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
So, thank you very much, James, for dropping by. And,
do you want to give a plug for Access? Can we give a plug for Access Karting?
You can give a plug to if you like. We don't have a sponsor at the moment.
So, if people want to get involved in motorsport and stop watching it and actually have a try, where do they need to go?
Yeah, so Access Karting, which is we're quite a new series really. We've been going 3 years, but we've seen quite exponential growth in the UK kart market. So we're now one of the bigger series in the country. So our whole approach is to bring in affordable motorsport, and I always use the term reasonably priced because motorsport will never be cheap, and it certainly won't ever be free. But we try and create regulations and classes that allow people to do it on a budget where they don't have to remortgage. So our acid test is always right. Here's a regulation. Can I spend my way out of that regulation performance? And if the answer is yes, we change the reg. So we just try and find a way that stops people spending money, and absolutely people will use all the budget they have and more to make the car look pretty and do all those sorts of things, but we like to limit it so that once you're all on an even keel from a spend perspective, and we don't like to see sort of more than 1,500 quid being the limit, and then you're kind of on the same foot as everybody else, and you can go and win a race with the ugliest cart on the grid because everybody else will have spent more on stickers, but you can still go and win a race. So that's kind of our purpose in motorsport, and we're seeing a lot of people coming through that door now, and and we're in year 3. We're starting to see people move off into other types of karting or other kinds of motorsport, and that's great. We're more than happy with that. So
James, what we're going to do is we're going to do a karting special. We've already said about this. We've got a couple of guests lined up. We will need to get you in as part of that.
For that?
It'll be later on in the year. We're going to do a karting special.
I'm
so we'll
happy
get
to
you in.
sit across my peers who are making commercial gains from karting, and they can all sit there and hate me. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
I said that.
No, absolutely. I think what we need to see ourselves as is we're the end point for some people, and some people never want to take it any further. But we're also part of the motorsport pyramid, and we need to recognise our place in that. So
and a fundamental. I mean, you walk around here. We've got Lando, Lewis, George's karts are all here. We've got some very old karts. We've got a couple hidden upstairs that are still to come out on display, and it is an important part of motorsport. And like you say, it's the beginning of the ladder for a lot of people, and it's certainly something that it would be great to get you back on to go into that in a bit more detail. James, lovely to meet you. Thank you very much.
I'm just going to say bye to James.
We're going to say goodbye to James. So what we're going to do while Rich says goodbye, and before he has to rush off to collect his child, we're just going to cover off the rest of the results. So moving into the top 10, well, just outside the top 10, one of the teams we haven't talked about is the Alpine team. I think they're going to go away a little bit disappointed with 11th and 14th. Clearly that's where the car's at. Both drivers very, very similar on times, but Pierre Gasly and Colapinto in that position. And then we moved into the top 10. There was a lot of hope that we were going to get a British top 3 in qualifying. That was talked about this morning. Didn't think it was going to be realistic, and that has absolutely proven to be the case. Rich talked a bit about Arvin Lindblad. I'll wait till he comes back, and we will talk a little bit about Arvin Lindblad. Arvin Lindblad, Leon Lawson, both of them 9th and 10th. And you're very, very close to each other, a little bit further off the sister team car of Isaac Hadjar. And we talked about Isaac Hadjar being, look at this, we've got Max Verstappen fans in the background, and obviously Max doing very, very well in 3rd. But Isaac Hadjar just beating both of the Red Bulls. So I've got very noisy. Oh, hello, we've got a little one waving to us. Have you enjoyed qualifying? Yeah, excellent. They're loving being on the screen. Just come forward. Dad, is he all right being on screen? Yeah. We are recording this. It's going to be going out. We'll swing the mic down there. We'll have a quick chat. You can even jump into this chair. It's set up for someone who's very, very tall, not rich. So, young man, what's your name?
Albie.
Okay, right. And is this your first Grand Prix?
Yeah.
It is your. You have to check on that one. I had to check. So I'm going to take a guess that you're supporting McLaren.
And Aston Martin.
And whoa, this is the first we've had who supports
Who was that?
Aston Martin. This is producer Rich, who's going to just have a quick chat. So Aston Martin didn't have a very good session, did they?
Yeah.
They didn't, did they? Did they?
No.
Aston, no. But do you think McLaren can win it this weekend?
Yes.
You do? And who's it going to be? Is it going to be Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri?
Lando Norris.
Lando Norris is going to win it. We've had quite a few people saying they think. Now, I'm just casting an eye back there, and I don't know if Dad... Is it Dad that does he want to come on? Are you...
Or you can get the eldest on if you want.
Oh, you come on.
There you go. I'll put the mic
Look
in
at this.
between
There
you.
must be arguments. If you come and stand in here...
Yeah.
I know, there must... Is there arguments at home?
Yes.
Never.
So, you, young man, looking at... What's your name?
Marley.
Marley. Right, now, Marley, you look like you're a bit confused. We've got a McLaren... We've got a Mercedes top and a Ferrari hat on. Which team are you really supporting?
Aston Martin.
Amazing.
This is not what I was expecting. You've said Aston Martin. You've said Aston Martin. Is Lance Stroll paying you to come in here and say this?
I'll come and explain in a minute.
Oh, okay. It's great that you're supporting Aston Martin, but they're in for a bit of a difficult weekend,
I
though,
know.
aren't they? Yeah. I mean, where did you watch from? Which corner were you watching from?
Luffield, is it?
Luffield, yeah,
that's where we
because
were.
they were looking quite. It was looking like it was handling quite difficult. He was around the corner there. So explain to me. You're telling me Aston Martin, but you're wearing a Mercedes top and a Ferrari hat. Are you supporting any of the Ferrari or Mercedes?
Tell them the
Yeah.
driver.
Who do you guys?
What's the driver?
I support the driver, Lando Norris or Lewis Hamilton.
Lando Norris or Lewis Hamilton. Well, now that makes a bit more sense. And we're a bit more. So there isn't too many arguments if you're both saying Lando Norris. Now I notice is that hat been signed by one of the drivers? Who has signed your hat?
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis, I've heard of him. So do you think, because Lewis has just set pole in for the sprint race tomorrow, do you think he can win the sprint race tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah. And are you guys here over all weekend, or are you just here today?
Just here today.
Just here. So you're going to be watching it on the telly, are you? Yeah. And you're
Yeah.
going to be shouting for Aston Martin from the back of the grid tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to shout pretty loud, aren't you? Yeah, I think you're going to have to shout pretty loud. Well, guys, we will let you get on. Is Dad going to tell us about the Aston Martin link then?
I can tell you about the Aston.
Tell us. If you can just stand over here, Dad, so we can hear you on the mic. Yeah. Tell us about the Aston Martin link then.
The Aston Martin link is a company that I work for as a sponsor, and I won't tell you which company,
Right, okay.
which got these two into Formula One.
Oh, I see. Right, that explains
So
it.
because they've got the merch, they felt like they have to support Aston Martin, but they don't have to support us.
Do you know what, though, guys? We went into. Have you been in the big shop? The big shop.
Oh
Yeah. Have you been in there? Have you seen those velvet Aston Martin T-shirts and hats? I think it's pretty brave to wear one of them, wouldn't it? Especially in this weather as well. It's got to be pretty hot in this weather, hasn't it? Yeah.
It's trying to take you off the performance. That's what it is.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, blind you. Yeah, if the pit crew wear those, then no one's going to notice.
To muffle the noise of that.
It did sound awful, didn't it?
I'm under the impression, though, after the break in August,
Yes.
that's it. They're going to come through and they're going to win.
So we have heard Spa. We work here at the museum.
Yeah.
We see a lot of Aston people regularly. They're only across the road. And the noise is that Spa is when they're going to almost come out with a brand new car.
Yeah.
And I think...
And we were expecting that at the beginning of the season with Adrian coming over, and
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think you'll be good.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake would be to jump from Honda now, I reckon, because historically, when that's happened, it never goes well.
It does, yeah. Super. Guys, we will let you get
thank
on.
you
I
very
think there's
much.
no
Great to
worries,
meet you
not
both.
at all. Lovely to meet you.
Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, thank you. And
Watch
enjoy.
yourselves on YouTube tomorrow.
We will be on. You'll be on YouTube tomorrow.
Oh, brilliant.
It might even be tonight, depending on how quickly it gets there. It will likely be tomorrow because I know we're running a bit tight for time. We've got on a.
Get your dad
It's
to take your
great
car
to
in this
have
weekend.
a couple of guests on. See you later, guys. It's great to have these guys on. Tomorrow we are going to have the speaker plugged in and nice and loud so everyone in here can hear us as well, aren't we?
I'm sorry, it's been a bit sporadic. I
been
caused
sporadic.
that by letting James on. I
You
think.
did, but that's absolutely. I never mind having a guest on here. Love it. I'm disappointed. Matthew Phillips, the Emperor of Retail, hasn't.
Yeah, where is he?
I don't know. I think he's dressing up as someone from Days of Thunder at the moment.
Actually, I'll put that on the screen now. I'll edit that tonight and I will drop in right in the comments if you think Matthew from Retail
looks like Robert Duvall eating an ice cream in Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
For some of you in a certain generation won't know what Days of Thunder is.
Yeah,
but,
more's the pity.
I know, watch it, it's great. So very briefly, I'm just going to cover off the last because I know you're going to be in trouble because you've got to go and collect a child.
Well, no.
Your own child, I must
look,
add. It's not
I
just-
will tell you what's going on because I've just checked my phone quickly. But first world problems, and this is what happens to people that go to Paddock Club. My wife is in Paddock Club and she can't find her way here. So they've laid a car on, so she's waiting for the car.
And is that car taking her home?
No, it's bringing her here to the museum.
Brilliant. Is that car going to then take you to the car park? You hope so.
I hope so, but I don't have a paddock pass, so maybe it will take her and I'll walk.
Yeah, and I would offer you a lift, but my car's only got 2 chairs.
Yeah.
And one of them needs to drive.
Just one of the many benefits of the Paddock Club experience at Silverstone, apparently.
Yeah, great. So Paddock Club, we recommend it.
Not that we've
and Paddock
tried
Club,
it.
anyone's watching from the Paddock Club, if you'd like us to come and do a very professional job of a podcast from the Paddock Club, we'll always be happy to do that. And we are not ashamed. We will wear any team wear you like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you know, Super Aguri.
Super Stone Guru now. I've got a Super Aguri polo shirt, which I'm very much looking. I'm a bit disappointed. I wish I had a BMS Scuderia Italia T-shirt to wear. I've just realised I'm interviewing Emanuele Pirro tomorrow. Not that I've mentioned it much. Very excited. I've got a model of Emanuele Pirro in the BMS Scuderia Italia from 1991
God, that
at
is
home.
so niche.
How many people are going to have that?
No one. But the
What
problem
is on-
is you are not going home tonight.
That is the problem. I mean, I've got.
And also, I'm pretty sure you've probably said that you don't have that anymore, and it's in the
Yeah,
ship.
no, I don't. Yeah, no, some won't be watching this. I've also got the Riccardo Patrese on the desk
that's
upstairs.
beautiful.
I know that surprised you this morning, didn't it?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Riccardo Patrese, that was from 1982, I think, that model.
That's such a good. But how many years did he have that helmet design?
I know, all throughout his entire career,
it's great.
As drivers used to do.
Anyway, sorry.
We are going to get back to this because I know it
was a great qualifying session, so yeah, we should finish. Sorry,
I've
just
finish.
cut across.
Well, I covered a bit of it while you were hobnobbing with your mates.
Sorry.
I talked about Isaac Hadjar, so I got to McLaren. We covered McLaren. I don't think they looked on it. Lewis,
No.
Lando and Oscar were very, very close in times. We're talking less than 3 thousandths of a second, or 300ths of a second. Sorry, between the pair of them.
We didn't cover it, did we? But they were running loads of high-vis.
Flow-vis this morning.
Flow-vis
Yeah,
this
loads of
morning.
flow-vis. They're clearly doing a lot of development on the front of that. It was all to do with the front wing.
Yeah.
They were running some on the rear, inside of the rear wing, but that will be about the continuity of flow through the car.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, but they weren't on song. George Russell, kind of the one that seems a bit out of sorts here. He was in 5th.
He's quite
behind
a bit off,
Charles
though,
Leclerc.
isn't he?
He didn't look on it. I don't know. We were watching from a very
basically,
specific-
like you say, it's just from left field.
and it was interesting hearing James's comments about the fact that it looked very different in different places on the circuit. We expected that to be the case. George Russell, I didn't get a vibe that he had it bit between his teeth. Whereas the next 4 drivers we're going to talk about, all of them, at some point when we've watched them today, have all shown. Charles Leclerc, I thought, looked like he was on it.
Yeah, he was pushing hard.
Yeah, he really, really was.
And actually, that's interesting where we were stood, if you think about it, given that he's, what is this, race 2 on the Carbon Industries brakes? it didn't look any slower than Lewis coming in there, and that's quite a heavy braking.
Yeah, it is, and he looked absolutely on it, and he was only what was it? We're 300ths off Max Verstappen in third place. So that was clear. Max overdriving the car, but that car looked great. We've discussed it quite a bit.
I think that's the car to beat in the race.
It's going to be interesting. Sprint is going to be very, very different to the...
Yeah, so I mean the main race.
Yeah, the main race. I think the sprint... I think the sprint's going to be between Antonelli and Hamilton, and it's not just because they're at top of the grid. They both looked like they're going to be on it, on the sets, on the sides.
They are a class apart in these times. The only thing... Are you talking about the sprint or the main race?
I'm talking about sprint.
Okay, yeah, all right, I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, please don't, because it's a podcast. If you shut up, it would be terrible. It'd just be me talking on my own.
In the main race, my worry with Lewis is the tyre deg.
Yeah, and I was going to mention the tyres, because when the sessions this morning... Ferrari, I didn't see, and they may have done. We didn't see all of it. We're running the hard tyres all the time.
I didn't see them on the medium.
Red Bull were on the softs.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether there is a little bit of prep in terms of what we're getting ready. Mercedes, again, I didn't see them on the medium. I saw them on the softs and the hards. Again, it's not a perfect sample.
Everyone's saving medium tyres. That's my view anyway. But
I'm going to be interested. It's very, very hot. It's a low tyre deg circuit, Silverstone.
Yeah.
We know that. Even though it's very, very high corners, it's a low deg circuit. I don't think we'll see anyone in a sprint race going for a soft and then a pit stop. I can't see it happening. No. You might get one of something like a Haas might try something like that.
But they have really bad deg issues, don't
exactly.
they? Yeah.
Aston Martin, to be honest, it wouldn't matter what the tyres they put on that. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference.
Not being funny, finishing is probably an achievement.
Sprint race
is an achievement.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see in the sprint race whether Perez can go forward.
Yeah, definitely. That is going to be something to see. The one thing I'm going to say, and I don't know, we haven't talked about this, so I'm just going to kind of drop it in there now. Lewis Hamilton was popular. Yeah, we heard a lot of cheering when he got the lap. I don't know if you were here when Mansell was racing or when Damon Hill was racing. But what used to happen is every single time they went past, the crowd would erupt. Whether it was a slowing down lap, a warming up lap, a middle of a session, whatever it is, they would erupt.
Yes.
I didn't hear it. I heard it when he got pole.
When he got pole?
Absolutely. But I don't know. Did you get that? It's one of the things I noticed.
So I
think I noticed it more probably when I was on the pit wall, because you're in an amphitheatre and you're in the middle of the night. But when we were stood out on Luffield today, I didn't notice it.
I did. Yeah, it's a good point. When I was here, 2024, and I sat at where was I? Village. It was the same, like what you were describing, the Nigel. Like any time, it was Lando. I'll be honest, it was Lando or Lewis. Probably bigger cheer for Lando. But any time they went past, it was a roar. Like you say, there was nothing.
No.
Apart from when the pole was confirmed.
Yeah.
Is that different fans not behaving in the same way?
I don't know.
Or...
It may be just where we were.
Potentially.
We're right by the main stage there. We had all of that noise.
We need to go to Cops.
Well, I think hopefully tomorrow we are going to get out to Cops and Beckett's. I know the diary is filling up. I know we had a plan this morning, and then since then, as is often the case at the Grand Prix, the rest of the day is now changing a lot tomorrow. So God knows where we'll be tomorrow and what we'll be doing.
I will get to Cops at some point.
I think tomorrow morning is the attempt. So we're going on the radio tomorrow. Live on Radio Silverstone tomorrow. So we'll be Circuit Radio 7 a.m. I'm on tomorrow. So you're welcome to come and join me. Yeah, we'll be in the glass box in the middle of the fan zone tomorrow at 7. So that'll be for when the gates open. Be on there. We're talking a little bit about the museum, and I think they're going to be doing a little bit of a what difficult questions can they ask me that we're going to try, which I'm always up for that kind of game.
Just what you want at 7 in the morning.
Just what I want at 7 in the morning, and there will be certainly won't be having a beer tonight to chill out at all. It's Richard Ashcroft tonight as the concert.
Yes.
I remember the Verve.
Yeah.
Can't say I was a massive fan. A bit more into the dance music, to be fair. But we'll see what that's like. Massively looking forward to Chase and Status tomorrow, though.
Tomorrow night.
That one, and I think that's why Alastair's gone home unwell. I think he's wimped out, and I think he can't cope. ladies and gents, I'm going to say something which may be a little unprofessional, but Rich and I are a little older than some of our colleagues here.
Yes.
All of our younger colleagues have fallen by the wayside.
Yes.
And it is only us older ones standing, and it is only day 2.
Yes.
It's poor show, isn't it, really?
It is concerning.
It's
I don't know what's happened
stamina.
to them. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to them. I was here late as well yesterday versus
Yeah,
them as well.
yeah.
So.
It's actually late now, mate. It's 25 to 7 already.
That's right. Yeah, clearly, the chauffeur has not picked my wife up yet because there's not a short, angry blonde woman in a Ferrari hat shouting at me yet. So
Yeah, well, if there is, let's stay online until there is, because that'll be hilarious to watch.
No, please, let's not. Should we cover the top 2 and then?
Yeah, well, the top 2 then. Some guy called Lewis Hamilton, some guy called Kimi Antonelli.
Do you know what? I
don't
love
think
that.
we've ever covered them. And
No.
do you know what? These 2 for me, I said it on one of our pods the other week. It's a bit like a movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit like the young protagonist coming in, and the old person, like the F1 movie. But they're both actually really quite good, and both got a chance of winning. Do you know the respect they show each other and the backstory behind it with Bono and Mercedes and also Kimi Antonelli? The other bit people don't always get is Kimi Antonelli is born and is from less than 15 miles away from where the Ferrari factory is.
Yep.
And in Bologna, one of the greatest. I don't know if you've ever been to Bologna.
I haven't, sadly.
It is one of the greatest. I'll give it's great places to go out. Imola, 20 minutes one way. Ferrari Museum's 20 minutes the other.
What a place.
An epic place to go. That's a road trip we need to do.
Yeah,
actually, we'll do it for WEC, Imola WEC, and then we'll go to the
do
Ferrari Museum as well. If you want to see that on the podcast, we'll take you with us next year. We'll do the WEC, Imola, and then we'll do the Ferrari Museums on another day, and we'll stay in Bologna.
I'm well up for
Some
that.
great restaurants, but I just think the backstory of those 2 with all of these things is epic, and we love a good story like that. And it is, I love it. And do you know what? There's very, very little in between the 2, and I wouldn't be surprised if either of them win. I don't know what your view is.
I just think when you look at the timing screens, it's not massive, it's not huge, but they're a class apart from the others.
From the others
on performance there. Both of them have significantly improved on their SQ2
you're looking
times.
3 and a bit tenths ahead of everybody else.
Which is a big margin. I mean, it's a big enough margin. I think both of them are natural-born kart drivers as well. Like, they're both incredible karters, more so than a lot of drivers in the field. Both got incredible car control. There's a lot of similarities
what
between
I also am going to say is Lewis didn't like the ground effect cars. That was clear. And do you know what? Look at the way Kimi is performing in a non-ground effect car. I think their driving styles are very similar. Who is the engineer in common that got them there? And it's an engineer who understands non-ground effects. And Mercedes clearly understand it, but Lewis, I love the fact Ferrari listening. They've had a change of engineer for Lewis. They've changed brakes. We've discussed that in detail. Ferrari, their data correlation work, really impressive this year because they've gone from every upgrade has made a step. And that's impressive. And you don't see that a lot, actually.
No.
And I know
they've historically been hopeless at it.
They have. And actually, McLaren, that's the weird one, because McLaren have historically always been brilliant. And they've been rubbish this year. It'll improve, of course it will. But they've not done what McLaren normally do. And that, for me, I think when you kind of look at the history and the backstory, and you think about the way those drivers came up, the way they drove, who they drove, the Fred Vasseur links with both of them through their younger years, it just... I don't know. It's the Prema links, I should say, rather than Fred Vasseur specifically. But
Prema, there's a show just on Prema, to be fair.
Yes, absolutely, and not their IndyCar team though. That was not so good. But the backstory. And do you know what? I don't mind who wins. I'm a big Kimi fan. I know. I would love to see either of them win. If either of them came away with a win in either of the 2 races this year, as the British Grand Prix, I'd be very, very happy.
Yeah, definitely. I for once, I don't feel like I've got a horse in the race particularly. And there's 3 of them that I think I've watched today and really respected. And I'd say Lewis, he's driven the wheels off that car. Kimi, the same. And Max, like him or hate him, like, you've got to respect the way that man has driven. And I think you throw him in the mix tomorrow as well, potentially. So we'll see what happens.
We will.
I'm going to go Kimi for tomorrow.
For the sprint. Yes. I'm going to veer the other way and say it's potentially Lewis in the sprint, Kimi in the main race.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same front row in qualifying tomorrow at all, because they've had no time to develop. You're going straight into a race, then a quali. And, it's all about protecting the car and getting it through. But I'm going to go the other way around from you. I'm going to say it's going to be Lewis in the sprint and Kimi in the main race.
Fine. Okay.
We'll
come back tomorrow.
We will be back tomorrow. We're back tomorrow morning. I think, are we on after the after the sprint race tomorrow? There's a blind. I keep forgetting it's Friday actually today. It is Friday, mate.
It
is.
Tomorrow,
it's Saturday tomorrow. It's Saturday. It's a joy. And if you've ever worked at a British Grand Prix or any Grand Prix, you'll know that time kind of misses you. You lose all sense of all time. When you've worked as many as I have, it really is a blur. But anyway, I can't remember which year was which. But it's been great.
Brilliant.
Rich, this has been epic. Thank you for being somebody who's withstood the pressure of having to be awake for, 8 hours or something. It's been difficult. Looking forward to tomorrow, having a big speaker working, so we'll have a bit of noise in here. And if you're down here at the Silverstone Museum tomorrow, jump in. We've had a couple of guests come in today, and we're more than happy to get some of the members of the public in. It'd be great to see you.
If you've got a strong viewpoint, come and tell us.
Come and tell us. Come and argue. We like an argument.
And here's a thought to leave you on. The reason that we're not flagging is all the E numbers that we had as kids in the 80s.
Well, I was going to leave it on the breaking news about Taylor Swift's wedding.
Oh yeah, do that. That's far more interesting.
So Taylor Swift wedding. There's been a lot of talk that Madison Square Gardens, or is it a hoax? We heard a rumour. It was actually going to be the big wheel here at the British Grand Prix, and they're going to get married. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce on the big wheel
tomorrow?
Here. The British Grand Prix tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's why Cadillac have gone for a special livery. 4th of July, what will become Taylor Swift wedding day. People forget Travis Kelce's also there, but
I'm more interested in his brother turning up, to be honest.
Jason. That is Jason Kelce. I very much doubt you'll watch this. If we got ourselves on New Heights, that would be epic. New Heights podcast. Just so you put it into context, now I have got my shirt ready for tomorrow, by the way.
I haven't.
So you need to. We said we were going to wear an NFL shirt on the pod. Now I've got 2 ready for tomorrow.
Okay.
I might go a little bit more old school Eagles.
Okay. Mine will obviously be Steelers. So
Steelers, Eagles.
Is it a white one? Is it a black one? Is it Troy Polamalu? Is it Ben Roethlisberger or Jerry Porter? One of those.
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Do you know I nearly bought a? This is really not relevant to anybody if anyone's listening. But I nearly bought a Steelers jersey last year for Kenny Gainwell because he's one of my biggest. I'm a huge fan of that young man. What he went through before the draft, and he kind of missed the year, and. He came into the Eagles and was brilliant, and I was gutted that we got rid of him. And I'm so pleased he got the MVP at the Steelers last year. Who knew we were going to be going in an NFL direction on this?
Well, exactly. You never know where this is going to go.
We don't. We'll stick to motor racing. We will see you guys tomorrow. Any questions, drop us a line, and any likes and for. This has been the Undercut Podcast. Rich, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob.
Take care, everyone.
See you tomorrow.